All right, I'm going to give you back your tests.
Yes, ma'am. I just haven't had time. Vous me connaissez? Pas bien, en français.
Je sais, j'entraîne.
C'est impressionnant. Extraordinaire. Je vais te contacter pour que tu viennes. Mais est-ce que tu as cours ça?
J'ai commencé.
Peut-être encore.
Je pense que aujourd'hui, c'est
Lundi, on est c'est Alexandra. Lundi, je fais Zoom et il y en a qui vais travailler.
Bonne journée.
Nice guy. Yeah, he says my turn too. Megan, right? Yes. And then just the it's the same chart. Right? Okay, Katie, you had to write on different questions. Read it. Now let's see.
There it is. And voila. Does it ask you guys this every single time? If you want to do two-step verification? So if I do that, does that mean that forevermore I'm going to have my phone with me to do the two-step verification?
Yeah. I'm even gonna turn it off even.
Oh, God. I can't, like, forever have my phone with me every single time because that will be Impossible, I forget my phone.
I think on certain computers, it'll give you an option to not have to do that next time to make it a trusted device.
Oh, okay, that will be better.
But that's never worked before for me.
I feel like I've pressed that too and said like, I don't want to do that way. All right, here we go. Examen de me voilà. Okay, so, I don't know, guys. I was a little disappointed that since we had already seen this name and it was the exact same name, that a lot of you didn't get it. Do you want to practice more with letters? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, I'll incorporate more of that. Everything was the same except for nationalité belge. Mais de passe-temps, j'aime mieux et rester à la maison. Je déteste danser, so I like to read, stay at home. She is a ball of fun, huh? She likes to read, stay at home, and doesn't like to dance. J'ai une grande famille. Mes parents s'appellent. So if you got this, very good. Christine et Frédéric. Ma mère est professeure et mon père retraité. J'ai 3 sœurs et je n'ai pas de frères. Here's the times. On avait 15h15, 21h50. 13h05, 22h30. Nationalité, il est algérien, elles sont françaises. I think a couple of you got the française plural. Il est sénégalais, il est italien, ils sont anglais, elle est américaine, il est anglais, ils sont britanniques, something like that. Réponse. Oh, I don't think we had a réponse personnel. I didn't do that part in your test. Réponse personnel, Kirsten. Translate. Quelle est ta nationalité? Leur sœur joue au tennis. Notre frère a un petit ami, une copine, une amie. Zinedine. Everyone does well on that mostly. So this would be like a very awkward English translation. Oops, come back. Soccer today seems to present itself as one of the most preferred sports in the world, or the most preferred sport in the world. Wait, headbutt? Wait, that's not on there. That's the wrong answer. Headbutt. What did you put for number 2? He is famous for a headbutt. Yeah, he won the, the headbutt came later. Don't worry about the headbutt. So if you put a train or a bullet train or TGV, that was good. PM and AM are just English, and so non-English speaking people don't use them, and so they use 24-hour time. Yes. Really? Number 2? In culture? Which? Oh. What is the one?
It says, what is the point of the OCL?
Yeah, what is the point of the OCL? So that the point is that the English-speaking world doesn't use AM and PM, but I mean, whatever you put, I'm sure it's like, if you said it's to distinguish night and day, that's the same. If you said it's just French, that's not really the point of it, because it's used in American military as well. So that's the point. Amélie is a film about a magic young woman. We watched the trailer. And then a lot of you didn't really get into the cultural element, but the question was, discuss what a beau-père, belle-mère, belle-sœur is in English, make an assertion about the cultural difference between French and English. So we are making it a legal relationship explicitly in English, whereas in French it's not. It's ma belle-sœur, my beautiful sister. See the difference culturally? And then, so I'm sorry that the question included something about Proust, which I'm sorry that was in there. If you gave a general description of what you like to do, what you don't like to do, you probably did just fine on this. So you were supposed to have a greeting, your name, how old you are, your nationality, where you're from, what you study, what you like to do, what you and your family like to do, and what you hate to do. And so all of these are things that we saw in one shape or form or another in chapter 2. Okay, so if you have any questions about your test, send me an email. I'm gonna get it back from you. And mostly, people did fine. You're allowed to take it again if you want during office hours. Okay, we're gonna talk about numbers. Are we not gonna talk about numbers? Oh, I'm in the wrong chapter. Here we go. We're gonna talk about numbers. Mme White. See? Up. Can I adjust that, please? There you go. Bon. Ok, donc voilà, nous avons 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. All of that is a pattern that you learned exactly verbatim, right? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. But then things go crazy apart here to 60. 70. Did anybody look it up? I said look up why the French do it this way. Yeah. Because I feel all of it. So they do it because it's Celtic. So who are the Celts? Exactly. They're the people from Ireland and Wales and Scotland. However, they are also the people of France. So I'll show that to you in a second. So anything that's considered Gaulish is Celtic, and you'll get the relationship. For some reason, the Austrians also think of themselves as Celts. So the Celts count this way. In the French, have you ever seen the cartoon characters called Asterix and Obelix? No, I know you haven't. Those are the little Gaulish guys. So I'll show you that in a second. So this is the way Celts count. With the 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. So what are we doing? What's happening here?
60 plus 10, 60 plus 11, 12.
Exactly. So then there is this, so that's the 60s to the 70s. The 70s are 60 plus 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. And then we get to the 80, which just drives everyone who's not a French or Celtic speaker out of their mind. What the is that? 420s, right? 80. And then just to mix it up and make it confusing, there is this one little exception with the 31, 41, 51. What is different over here? Well, we have 81, and you don't have 81. So it's just a weird exception. But you know, I had this recently confirmed. For anybody who says it's broken French that Louisianans speak or spoke, it's not real French. The only people who speak it anymore are very, very old. And so I was at an event with a bunch of old French speakers, and it was a guy's birthday, and I said, ah oui, c'est ta fête, à quel âge? And without missing a beat, he goes, 81. And I was like, yeah, even here in Louisiana, it's not lost. Because like the mistake that any like not really French speaker makes is to say 81. And so Louisiana is all this. It's just the way it is. And it was for 300 years. And right now, that language is going away. So if you have anybody in your milieu, in your family, you should talk to me and we'll record what's left of your family's French speaking heritage. Alors, so we have 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89.
And then what are we doing here? So here we're adding the 1, 2, 3, 4, but then in the 90s, what happens?
420 plus 10.
420 plus 10. 11 divisé en 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99 et 100. All right. Boom. So numbers that end in the digit 1 are not usually hyphenated. They use the conjunction "a" instead. But like if you do put, there's some French people that put the dash, there's some that don't. You can look it up on Wikipedia. Like if you put it, it's hardly wrong. You're not wrong to put the dashes. It's just some kind of that formality of French. Some people do it, some people don't. However, these do definitely take it. When the number ends in S, but there is no S, when it is followed by another number. So this is really tricky, right? Like 80 with an S, but 80 no S sync. So there's a lot of exceptions. Okay. Let us try to do this ensemble. Okay, donc, quel est ce numéro? 75. Très bien, 75. Et quel est ce numéro? Très bien, 99. 99. Would it take an S? Et ça? Numéro 4?
70.
70. Et numéro 5? Et numéro 6? 91 et numéro 7? 66 et numéro 8? 87 et numéro 9? Et numéro 10, 60. Okay, so what I'm going to have you guys do is, I'm going to have you write your phone numbers on the board. You feel weird like everyone's going to steal your phone number? Okay, we won't do your phone number. I will make up some phone numbers because guess what? The Thibodeau number is perfect for this exercise. So we're going to write it like it's in French, okay? So my number, my office number is this. Oh no, can I do that right? 4, 5, 8. Oh, it's so hard to think of what my office number is in, let me write it, let me think about it in English. 4, 8, 4, 8, 5. So now I'm gonna write it like it's in French. Okay, so 9, 8, 4, yeah, 4, no, oh, that's not mine. That's my New Orleans number. Okay, 9, 8, 5. I wanted you guys to do it, but I understand if you don't want to write your number on the board. 5, 4, is that right? Yeah, 4,
If it's
8.
easier for you, I could just put in my number.
Would be better if you did. Because I want anybody, we'll do it like that. Anybody who's comfortable putting their number on the board. Thank you, Ben.
Over here.
Thank you.
Over there, over here. Okay.
Wait, is that a combination between 5 and 4?
And try to put it the French way. I still don't know if that's really my number. It was. I think it is. Anybody else? No one's gonna call you. I promise. No one wants to be flattered if someone wants to call you. Although I know that your generation is funny about the phone. Do you guys talk on the phone? You do? I only talk to my mom and my brother. Like I'm weirded out when anyone else calls me. I'm like, oh, who's
If
calling?
my mom calls me, someone's dead.
There's that fear too. Although since my mom is really old, I'm like, at least she's not dead. She's calling me.
Once I get comfortable with you, I'll call you directly.
Okay. Yeah. Hello. On va essayer de dire ces numéros. Alors, ça, c'est le numéro de Ben, n'est-ce pas?
98, 58, 55, 63, 0.
Très bien. OK. Alors, quel est ce numéro?
98,
98, 59, 91, 85, 37. OK. Alors, quel est ce numéro? 98, 54, 98, 91. 91. Alors, 98,
69,
59, 92, 09. Okay, now we're gonna play a game, and so nobody gets to bow out of the game. Everybody's gotta play, you have to play, socially distanced. So, you two are gonna be the first players, so stand up. Okay, now I have to make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna say a number, and then you guys are gonna have to say the numbers, and whoever touches the number first gets the point.
Oh.
Okay, so when you touch a number on the board, you can use either one, and I'll start with a really easy one, but then once I use this one, you guys can use it again. 98. Go touch. Do it on that side. How about you, Alyssa, to keep social distancing, you go on that side, and you go on this side. And then I'll have to, okay, so again, I'm gonna look for a number that's on both of them. The numéro, there's not enough numbers that are both of them. The numéro 5. Okay, Alyssa got 1 point. Make you do it again. Le numéro 59. Okay, Alyssa got 2 points. So now someone's gonna come and play. Alyssa, just in here, off the hook. All right, come on, I'll give you an easy one. But I'm gonna give her an easy one, and we'll see who touches it first. And then I'm going to ask you to read a number, okay? So, le numéro 09. Okay, so that was Alyssa again, now read a number. And so it has to be one that's on both. Let me put up another set of numbers over here. Et 82. Okay, so Lily, read a number that's on both sides. Let's see who goes first. Oh, this is gonna be stuck up there for a while. Did you do 2?
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, Morgan. And then we're gonna follow this out. Or, no, I know, we're gonna hurry up there. Okay, so, Lynn, read the number. Okay, come on, Morgan, get this out of there. Did you get it? Did Melissa get it? Are you sure it's on both of them?
It is. Oh, which one did you say?
That's not Melissa.
So now.
Morning. That's not Melissa. Was it a tie? I'm gonna call that a tie. Okay. Okay. Same one. So that doesn't count because it's not the size. And it's a really okay other size. You're not. Okay. All right, all right. Devon, go meet Elizabeth. Oh. Okay, Katie, can you say a number? Wait for Joan. Wait for her. Oh, Devon, nice. But does she have a happy one too?
Yes.
Yeah. Did Devon get it?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Maddie, say a number.
52.
Was it? Wait,
Yeah,
let's have it. All right.
No, I didn't get it. I know I backtracked. I messed up.
All right, Alyssa gets to sit down. Better you have to go.
No.
Hartley, are you prepared for this?
I can try.
Make sure it's on both of them. That's the thing that has to happen.
Then you will know 100%.
Yeah. Better, it's one that's already set.
0 left.
All right, Maddie versus Ben.
Well, she's.
She's in a class by herself. Ben, stand back a little bit so I can see on the mirror. Ready? Anyone? No? All right. All right, I'm gonna do, Petrolatu.
Oh, that was 8.
That would be, Maddie, you got it.
Yeah.
Onze. Very,
You got it.
yeah. 98. One more. Wait. Oh. There's some, what's it called, ringers in this class. You guys, have I discussed the concept of the ringer?
No, but I've seen the movie.
So ringers they should be, certain students should not be in a French 101, but anyway, I'm glad to have you in French 101. As one student said, it's kind of inspirational to see that other people really learn something. So I'll just look at it. Look, if you already took French, then you kind of learned something. So we're going to go on to Français Interactif in the book, and there's going to be a bunch of number exercises. And here we go. Okay, so work with a partner on this. This is France, this is l'hexagone. So this is l'hexagone. Each petit
Chiffre ici, ça fait de départements. Donc, les départements ont un numéro. La France est très organisée. Donc, chaque département a un numéro. Chaque département a un nom. Chaque département a un nom. Par exemple, moi, j'ai vécu dans le département 69. Et ça c'était la Haute-Rhône. Et j'ai vécu ici, je pense, vers Besançon.
So these names that you see here,
Okay, this is.
oh, sorry, it is 64. So I want you to just, if you want to work on it alone, you can, but it's better to work on it with the person. Just write out those numbers. But it's always better to work with another person because you see how their brain works and something might click with you. Just write the number. Write the number out with letters. Just write out 69.
And then the next one is
You're just writing out numbers. And if you don't know how to write out the numbers, it's at the beginning of the chapter, so there they are. Just writing numbers. Fini? Okay, let's just go ahead and I'm going to say the name of the département.
Donc, voici l'explication des départements. La France métropolitaine est divisée en combien de départements? 96 maximally départements. Chaque département a un numéro de chiffre. Chiffre, the word chiffre means a figure. You know, in English we have the word number, but we also have figures. The chiffre is the figure. De chiffre. Donc, de chiffre qui se trouve sur les plaques d'immatriculation. Alors, voici une plaque d'immatriculation. Donc, sur les voitures, les chars, les voitures. Donc, ça, c'est Paris. Quel est le numéro pour Paris? 75. Voilà. Et dans les codes postaux. Donc, dans les codes postaux, zip codes, ils ont aussi le numéro. Par exemple, le numéro du département de Rhône est 69. Lyon est dans ce département. Sur la droite, des plaques de matriculation. Donc, sur la droite des plaques, vous avez le numéro du département. Donc, il y a une bande obligatoire avec le numéro du département, du propriétaire de la voiture et le logo de la région. So each region has a logo. And so this is Paris's logo. You see this all over Paris, this image. What is that thing? It's a boat. Do you know what kind of boat? A sailboat. Do you know what culture that sailboat comes from? It's close. It's the Vikings. So France is a big mishmash of people. There are Celts, there are Vikings, and Paris apparently was founded by the Vikings. So you don't really associate Paris that much with Vikings, right? But But wrap your head around this. Have you ever heard of a region called Normandy, Norman? So in English, if we just say Nor and Man, what does that make you think of? North Man Vikings. Normandy. So, et ça, c'est une image que nous voyons tout le temps ici. Qu'est-ce que c'est cette image-là? The third of these. Donc, this blew my mind when I learned it. In English, it's a hyper correction. We say fleur de lis because we say to ourselves, selves. In French, what is not pronounced at the end of the word? And so the French pronounce the lis, fleur de lis, right? Crazy, huh? Not just, but I read that, I was like, we've been saying it wrong in the United States all this time. Okay, so I'm going to name the department and you're going to give me the number. So, par exemple, Paris. Quel est le numéro de Paris? 75. Très bien. Quel est le numéro de Saône-et-Loire? Saône-et-Loire. 71. Quel est le numéro de la Seine-et-Marne?
77.
77. Oui, 77. Quel est le numéro de Indre-et-Loire? Indre-et-Loire. 37. Très bien. Quel est le numéro de l'Essonne?
91.
91. Quel est le numéro de Paris? Quel est le numéro de Rhône? 69. Quel est le numéro de Saône-et-Loire? 71. Bien, ok, très bien. Il y a combien de départements en France? Il y a combien en total? Combien de départements y a-t-il en France? Est-ce qu'il y a un? Non. Est-ce qu'il y a 100? Non. Il y a combien de départements? 96 départements. Il y a combien d'États aux États-Unis? Il y a combien d'États aux États-Unis? Voici les États-Unis. États-Unis, des États. Alors, image. 50, 52, ça dépend parce que est-ce que nous avons 48 qui sont sur le continent ici, puis il y a Alaska, il y a l'Hawaï et je ne sais pas si on compte Porto Rico, donc 51, 52, quelque chose comme ça, mais normalement on dit 50, so the number. But 50 is a little confusing because Puerto Rico has this confusing statute of being a state, but not a state. You guys know how Puerto Rico works? They don't have representation in the government, but they're a state. So they're like half a state. Yeah. That's why when they have a hurricane, they don't get aid because you're not a state. So hopefully they're not going to be hit by hurricanes again. Okay, we are not going to do this because this requires thousands, which we're going to do on Wednesday, and I feel like numbers are overloading and they're hard, so we're going to go back to the hundreds and thousands on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about l'hiver, l'été, printemps, automne. Alors, la question, bizarre ou normal? Alors, vous connaissez les Alpes, n'est-ce pas, les Alpes? Il neige dans les Alpes en hiver, c'est bizarre, c'est normal. Très normal, parce qu'on fait du ski, on fait des randonnées, hiking dans les Alpes. Il fait froid à Nice en été. Nice est au sud de la France. C'est bizarre, parce que au sud de la France, il fait chaud, il fait beau en été. Il fait chaud à Dallas en automne. Dallas, c'est un peu comme la Louisiane. Et qui est de Dallas? Toi, n'est-ce pas? Alors, est-ce qu'il fait chaud à Dallas en automne? Oui? No? Is this your first year here in Thibodeau? Yeah. Okay, is it hotter here or there so far this year?
Louisiana just has humidity, it's always hot here.
Okay. Well, see, I were in Dallas, I'd be like, it's hot in the fall because does.
It only gets like really high in summer. It's like 114.
Yeah, you can see how weather is all relative. Let's take Mary, where Germany is not super cold, sort of temperate. It's about, in Dallas, in the fall, it's in the 30s, typically hot, or, yeah, I think so too, yeah. So, il fait chaud à Dallas, mais quand moi je dirais c'est normal, but it's all relative, because you're like, it's cooler in the fall, but when cooler means 85 degrees for someone who's from a cool climate, that doesn't sound particularly cool. But I've been here for years. 85 degrees, warm or hot? Warm, not hot.
It's 84 degrees outside right now, I'm in sweatpants and a jacket.
Yeah, and I'm in denial because I'm like, I'm freezing. So really, 85 for me has now become the cool weather.
It's nice weather outside, I'm in a jacket.
I'm still gonna say it's normal. If it's chaud à Dallas, c'est normal. But for the French, it would be hot. Il fait du soleil, on va voir au printemps. Alors, c'est normal. Il fait du vent à Chicago en mars. You gotta go to Chicago. It's famous for its wind, so c'est normal. Il y a des orages au Texas au printemps. Un orage, c'est comme l'ouragan Delta, l'ouragan Laura, l'ouragan Marco, c'est un orage. Donc, il y a des orages au Texas au printemps.
C'est normal.
C'est normal. With climate warming, c'est le nouveau normal. Il fait beau en Californie en automne. Il fait beau.
Is it how?
Non, il fait beau.
Well, to the fires.
Oh, yeah, cette année, non, il fait pas beau. Mais normalement, c'est vrai. Il n'y a jamais des nuages à Seattle. C'est bizarre, parce que Seattle, il y a beaucoup de nuages. Alors, quel temps fait-il? Aller au parc, c'est facile. Faire de la planche à voile. Do you remember what I said about faire de la planche à voile? Every French book has it. What is it? Well, the answer, but what is the activity? In English, I'm just saying, what is planche à voile? Windsurfing. So French textbooks always have planche à voile. Donc, il fait du vent. Faire des randonnées, alors ça fait hiking, n'est-ce pas? Donc, comment fait-il pour faire des randonnées? Il fait beau. Ou il fait froid, très bien. Pour aller au cinéma, quel est le temps normal pour aller au cinéma? Pour aller regarder un film, il pleut. Voilà. Il fait de neige, il pleut. Ou il fait très chaud, parce que moi, je vois beaucoup de films en août, en juillet. Nobody goes to theaters anymore. Nobody does anything.
First summer that I was the only person there.
It used to be in the summer in Louisiana. It's kind of a thing to do because it's air conditioned. Go sit in air conditioning for 3 hours. Alors, faire du vélo. Il fait beau. Visiter un musée. Il fait beau. Exactement. Voilà. OK. Quel temps est-ce que vous associez avec des villes? Donc, nous avons Boston, San Francisco, Anchorage, Phoenix et Miami. Alors, quel temps associez-vous avec Boston? Moi, j'associe le froid parce que regardez, Boston, c'est vraiment au nord. Hein. Bon, Boston. En été, il fait chaud. En été, il fait chaud, c'est vrai. Oups, map, Boston. En été, il fait beau et il fait chaud. Mais en hiver, Boston's like super north. It's just, it's way up there. Not as far up there as Maine, but, we're in Canada basically up here. Alors, à San Francisco, quel temps associez-vous avec San Francisco? There is a very precise answer that some people know about San Francisco. Il fait du brouillard. So, qu'est-ce que c'est le brouillard? Le brouillard à San Francisco est célèbre. Donc, voilà. Voici San Francisco et le brouillard. So, do you see what it is?
Foggy.
Foggy, voilà. Et à Anchorage, quel temps fait-il à Anchorage? Anchorage en Alaska, il fait froid. À Phoenix, en Arizona,
Il fait très, 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 très chaud. Et à Miami, quel temps fait-il? Oui, normalement, il fait chaud à Miami. Okay, so I'm going to do just a couple minutes here on culture to go back to the Gauls and the Celtic people and Asterix and Obelix. So there's a theme park in France that's kind of like Disney that's all around Asterix et Obelix, and they're very famous cartoons, Parc Asterix. So these are the guys that are the original. So it's kind of the way we have Native Americans in Louisiana. They're the first people. So the first inhabitants of Asterix and Obelix, of France were supposed to be these Gaulish people. So let me find a better picture of Asterix and Obelix. So they have an amusement park around Asterix and Obelix. I have a friend who translates Asterix and Obelix into English. And so one of the signs of Celticness is red hair, right? So he's got red hair. And so they're the first people who inhabited. So when I say like indigenous people of France, it's the Celts. So the Celts actually are all over the place, Celts in Europe. So the main countries are, let me see. Yeah. So the main Celtic countries, everyone says off the top of their head, is Ireland. Do you know why Ireland to this day is still like, that's where the Celts are? So places that are way out on the edge, that are islands, maintain their culture. So isolated places are conservative. When I mean conservative, I don't mean they're voting for Trump. I mean they conserve their culture. So this is the last place where where like the Irish language was kind of viable up until the 18th century. And there are still people who speak Irish, which is a Celtic language. Scotland is Celtic, whole British Isles. The Iberian Peninsula. So here we are in Louisiana with a hurricane headed straight for New Iberia. What's Iberia? Why do we have a place in Louisiana called New Iberia? Spain. It's named after Spain. Why in Louisiana do we have a place named after Spain?
Louisiana is known by
Yes, this French thing is a big exaggeration, actually. It was Spanish for like 50 years, almost 50 years. Louisiana was Spanish for a really long time. But people continue to speak French. Okay, so this was Celtic, and this is actually Portugal. So this is where it gets interesting language-wise. Portugal. So I just said, if it might have gone over your head, but Gaulish and Celtic are the same thing. So the French are considered like Gaulois, and so you see this all over the place. It's even a pack of cigarettes. So it's like a symbol of France is to be Gaulish, to be Gaulois. Let's see if I can, Gauloise, sorry, masculine. So here's the symbol, and the symbol of the cigarettes is the same thing that Asterix and Obelix have on their heads. So Gaulish means French, but it also has this idea of Celticness, like Portugal. And so let's see, the other place in Great Britain that was very Celtic is this country, Pays de Galles. And let's see if I put it on a map, if you can recognize what country it is. So here we have en français, on a Écosse, Angleterre, et les Pays de Galles. So what country is this in English? It's not Scotland, right? Wales. And then things are even crazier linguistically. W's are actually G's. In English, things that are W's are G's in French. So let's look at the example of, I bet not you will know what this is, gaufre. It's something you eat in Belgium. What you know what it is? Waffle, waffle. And so then there's this word, guerre. So yeah, the Première Guerre Mondiale, the Deuxième Guerre Mondiale. So the guerre means war. So W's and G's and C's are all connected linguistically. And the French they very much identify themselves as a Gaulish people. So when I say a Gaulish people, le coq Gaulois, for example, Gaulois, voila. So this is, like, we have, which will be in America, but the Gaulois will say out there, they have a rooster. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to look over for Friday, which is probably going to be online, the numbers that are in the thousands, and on Moodle, you can find them. If I can go back to no. So we just did these ones. So if you go to Moodle and you want to do a PowerPoint kind of at double exposure, go to les numéros. But also every single number is here, okay? So I want to concentrate on Friday on 100 to 1000. And also, I know it's a little like bulky, the whole Français Interactive thing, but you can also listen to the numbers on the website, in the vocabulary. So over here, you're going to have, oh, they only do 70 to 100. I thought they went up to the thousands. Huh, yes, they do go up to the thousands. So they kind of go up to the thousands in a limited way. And the PowerPoints are more detailed. Donc, vous avez 100, 102, 100, 200, 1000, 2000, et 1,000,000. So go into greater depth. I'm not going to have a quiz on this on Friday, but next week sometime you'll have a quiz on these wacky numbers and then on up into the thousands. Okay? Yes. When is the mean due? Let's look. Friday, and thank you for reminding that, because I said that you could do the meme or you could do the map, and I want to show you what a map is. Maps are more interesting in some ways. So on the meme, on the meme instructions, I tell you how to go to my maps in Google and make maps, and I have an example of a map. So this is a map that I made, but I'm going to show you two student examples. So my map was connecting places that have French names, and notice that you can look over here and see the connection. Donc, il y a Baton Rouge, puis Saint-Louis, puis vous avez Des Moines, La Croix, Eau Claire, Marquette, Louisville, and Fort Duquesne, and they're all over the place, French names. The reason I ended in Fort Duquesne is because I'm from Pennsylvania. So you could do a map with like minimum that number of, 8 or 9 places. But I had some students last year who did this really well. And so I'm going to show you some other maps. So you can do a meme or a map. I think maps are a little more like educational given the chapter, but memes are more fun. So either way, map in French is une carte. Et voici deux cartes que les étudiants ont fait. So this, see if you can just look at it and figure it out what this map is all about. This was like over and above map. French colonies, exactement. Donc, Empire colonial français. And then the other one was a different way of doing the same thing, French colonies. So, so there's many ways to mess around with maps and making them in Google Maps, and I think it's fun, and I think you'll probably learn more by doing a map, but I think these are also fun, so do whatever, all your heart. Okay, see you guys on Friday, probably online. You could do all the Celtic places, because didn't you say somewhere that you like Celtic music? Yeah.
And I have a whole playlist of music that's Celtic, and France has a Celtic sound since you're a music person.
Yes. Just gonna write a little bit on here. Okay, but it's just about my finals. So I leave November 9th. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do. The national.
Yes, November 9th. I just wanted to see what you wanted to see about that.
Wow, that's so soon.
I know, I leave in like 3 weeks.
Harley, I want you to not enjoy, not worry, enjoy French. So,
Starting just a lot. I
I
don't know.
know.
But then I also been doing everything with National Guard and I was working and like, so it's all just.
Yeah, get ready, it's gonna be really
I
good.
know.
I just read a freshman English essay about National Guard. It was terrifying. National Guard, popular, it was really hard for this guy, so be very careful. And, let's look at it like this. If you can turn in the people J from here to November 9th, we'll just not worry too much about the past and post grades.
And so I'm gonna go. I didn't notice that you put the. I looked at it on my phone, so I didn't notice that you attached the video, and I was like, so then I went back.
But I think I didn't send it to you in the first place. Maybe.
No, yeah, I never got an email from you. I was telling you, I was like, I haven't got an email. So
It's
you
a really
mentioned,
bulky way to do it. In the future, I'm gonna figure out something else.
yeah. So I plan on doing that either this afternoon. I have 2 more classes today, but either
Yeah,
this
just
afternoon or
work on that, and if you have questions about how to pronounce things, go to that website.
That's what I've seen. That website's probably would be very helpful.
Just
'Cause I think
listen.
that's my problem. I don't know how to pronounce
Well,
things.
your problem is that you are true beginner,
Yeah.
which is like, you know, it's just a terrible problem that I have, and some people are like, we should put pop culture, and then others are like, I don't know what's going on with this class.
I don't think it helps that we have online and have.
No, it's terrible.
Class too. I feel like if we would be all in class,
Maybe
and
I
I
can
could actually
see my mouth.
and like pay attention, like actually, because like on the computer too, like
Oh, it's
I can't
all-
really see you because half the time you're doing screens, or you
Yeah.
can see what you're actually teaching. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is all-
no, it's no good. I agree, but anyway, I don't want you to like, I don't want French to be, this problem in your life. And so try to do what is like the most, what you learn the most from, and, oh, Chansey was here the whole time. Hi, Chansey. Bet I didn't screen share, and
So definitely I'll do that one, and then the other one's due on Friday, right?